Hello, my name is Bhavya Sehgal and I am the Head of Research for Asia Pacific for Frontier Strategy Group. In this video, I am going to discuss Frontier Strategy Group's recent analysis on China's urbanization, detailing the key aspects of our research and several things you need to consider for your China 2020 strategy. The reason I'm going to be spending so much time today explaining you this is essentially because this is going to impact your talent strategy, your product strategy, your organization design, and your channel strategy for China in the long run. Understanding China's urbanization will inform your key decision-making abilities to ensure you have a robust plan for your China business. In order to get your China 2020 game plan correct, you must align your plan appropriately with what the Chinese government plans to accomplish, and urbanization is a key component of their plan. Outlined in early 2014, the Chinese government pushed for the development of regional, provincial clusters, aiming to drive economic growth, strengthening transportation, and influencing the pattern of migrants in China. Our research team actually decoded China's plan and uncovered the risks, opportunities, and themes around moving more than 200 million people plus from rural to urban parts in China. The formations of these metropolitan areas and clusters are going to be changing and will continue to fundamentally change the way we look at China's provinces and consequently the way we do business in China. FSG essentially studied 19 clusters which are going to be formed in China in the next 5 to 6 years. This includes 3 super clusters, 8 emerging clusters, and 8 frontier clusters. We actually looked at provincial level historical growth trends as well as policies rolled out at the central and provincial government level, whether it is around railway infrastructure or hukou reforms or the industry clusters which are going to be formed. We then highlighted the hub cities, the big shots, and the new stars that will offer opportunities within each cluster. Our provincial level data analysis actually maps to several key decision points for multinational executives. Every multinational needs to ensure they look at China's urbanization as a major driver for future consumption-led economy. Our analysis is a starting point to assess the clusters in which multinationals already operate and, more importantly, identify the best plan going forward. Do you go deep or actually do you go wide? A China 2020 strategy is not a one-size-fits-all approach and requires an introspective assessment of your ability to execute what you set out to accomplish. Take organization design, for example. Multinationals have to assess the possibility of decentralizing their Chinese sales headquarters by branching out sales centers to other hub cities to get closer to local businesses. For example, using Beijing as the northern China headquarters, Guangzhou as the southern China headquarters, or Chongqing as the western China headquarters. You can also consider breaking down functional responsibilities into different clusters by leveraging the cluster's specializations, such as building a logistics center in Wuhan because of its favorable geographical location, establishing an e-commerce hub in Chengdu, or incubating R&D innovation center in Suzhou. Then, of course, there's resource allocation. Where do you direct your investments? Within resource allocation, the Chinese government has actually indicated where pockets of future investments will be directed. This is bound to have a very direct impact for all B2B or B2C companies in the region. The government is and will continue building numerous industry clusters across the country that will help build the ecosystem around them. Multinationals can leverage the formation of mature industry clusters to screen out horizontal suppliers and customers, as well as monitor the vertical competitive environment. However, it is vital to monitor the progression of the urbanization trend very closely. Everything may not be very positive. China's urbanization program will cost approximately $6.8 trillion. From 2015 to 2020, more than $100 billion worth new related professional services and biddable infrastructure contracts are estimated to be available every year. But local governments are already in deep debt. The high levels of local government debt will only make it difficult to provide provisions for adequate public services, including infrastructure, healthcare, education to new migrants. When it comes to China's urbanization, I must reiterate it is extremely necessary to understand this key trend because it impacts your product strategy, your channel strategy, your talent strategy, and your future go-to-market plan in China. All in all, China's urbanization is going to forever change the business landscape in China. FSG stands by to ensure that all our multinational clients stay ahead of the curve and focused on the long-term opportunities which prevail in China. Contact us today at info@frontierstrategygroup.com if you are interested in additional information about China's urbanization.